Players don't report to training camp for another 2 weeks, but ADP continues to shift based on speculation and reports. That includes the Eagles' backfield. Rashad Penny's ADP has surged to 112.8, while Kenneth Gainwell is now being selected in the 14th round. And I don't know which running back will lead this offense in touches, but I do know we should be targeting whomever wins the pass-catching role. Philadelphia trailed for a league-low 19% of second-half plays against the NFL's easiest strength of schedule last year, limiting Hurts to a meager 11.1 pass attempts per game in the last 2 quarters compared to his 19.5 first-half attempts. But this year, they're projected with a middle-of-the-road, number 16 overall strength of schedule based on Vegas season win totals, which projects this offense to keep its foot on the gas rather than pad leads on the ground. Last year's Eagles were also one of only 3 offenses to record 30 rushing touchdowns since 2008, and it's unlikely to happen again. Of the 7 offenses to rush for 25 touchdowns since 2011, only 1 was able to increase on that number the following year, averaging a decrease of 8 full rushing touchdowns the next season. For that reason, we want to get the receiving back right. And right now, we're getting a discount on Gainwell in an ambiguous situation since DeAndre Swift is inexplicably being drafted in the 7th round. Remember, since Swift was previously selected by the Lions on day 2 of the NFL draft, the Eagles get a 4th-round compensatory pick in 2025 if he were to leave after this year. Howie Roseman only traded for Swift because it cost the franchise nothing, and yet Swift's role is being assumed for fantasy, which doesn't make sense. Nico Collins is another riser I'm buying in the mid-11th round. Targets per route run is another fancy stat we use for fantasy football. And Collins' 18.1% career rate with Brandon Cooks on the field is nothing compared to his 25.4% target per route run rate with the veteran off of it. That number would have ranked as the 11th highest rate of any player with at least 100 targets last year, just ahead of Travis Kelce. Houston's quarterbacks also combined for the lowest catchable pass rate of any team in the league on throws 10+ yards downfield last year. But CJ Stroud led this class in catchable rate on throws 10+ yards at Ohio State, which naturally elevates Nico's ceiling as someone we should be drafting. On the other end of the spectrum is Dalton Kincaid, whose ADP has dipped from 128.8 post-draft to 132 the past 7 days, while Dawson Knox's ADP has fallen all the way to 180. But Kincaid was drafted in the 1st round by Buffalo because he's a slot receiver. He ran 55% of his career routes there in college, and that doesn't affect Knox. The Bills ranked 31st in 2 tight end sets last year, but if Kincaid is playing from the slot and Knox is still expected to be the team's starting inline tight end, it's more logical to wait until the later rounds and draft Knox, who has finished as the tight end 9 and tight end 12 and points per game the last 2 years, and totaled the 2nd most end zone targets at his position in that span. Maybe lobbies will continue giving us discounts for no reason at all next week too. Until then, be a little bit kinder than what's required.